In this video, we are going to go through the substitution method to solve linear equations. Now, when you're given linear equations like you see on the screen, you can graph them and figure out the solution just by seeing where they intersect. Now, for this system, we would see that the intersection point is at 2, 4. But sometimes it's not very practical to graph your equations to figure out where they intersect. You know, if you have a line like this and then a line like this, yeah, good luck telling me where they intersect, right? They intersect at some sort of decimal right here because they don't intersect at a nice corner like this one does at 2, 4. So the way around that is just by solving algebraically. And I think it's quicker than graphing, and I prefer it. So we're going to go through substitution. So the first step in substitution is to isolate a variable in either equation. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to solve for x in the top equation. So I will subtract 5y on both sides. So negative x equals 18 minus 5y. And then I will divide both sides by negative 1 and get x equals negative 18 plus 5y. Now the second step is to plug that into the other equation. So we will plug that into the bottom equation. We have x solved for, meaning we will plug this stuff into x in the bottom equation. So everything you see here will go for x in this equation. So 2y minus 2x, and we'll just put the negative 18 plus 5y in for x since it's equal to x. And then we can just solve this like a standard one variable equation. Distribute, combine like terms, and simplify. So 2y plus 36 minus 10y after you distribute equals 4. And I will continue up here and get negative 8y plus 36 equals 4. Subtract 36 from both sides and you get negative 32. And y is just 4. So in your solution, which is always a point in ordered pair, the y coordinate is 4. And to solve for x, we can just plug back into any equation we really want to that has an x. So I will plug y being 4 into this equation right here. Meaning x is going to be negative 18 plus 5 times y. And if y is 4, 5 times y is 20. So that means x equals 2, and we have our answer, 2, 4. Now, to check your answer, I highly recommend plugging your x and your y back into both equations, just like this. So I will leave myself some room here. And so I will plug in 4 for y, so 5 times 4 in the top equation, minus x, which is 2, equals 18. And 20 minus 2 is, in fact, 18, so that one works. 18 equals 18. And then I can do the same thing in the bottom equation. 2y, so that's 8, minus 2x, which is 4. And that does equal 4. So I know that my answer, 2, 4, is confirmed. Checked. Good. That is the correct answer. Now let's do that again. So in this system, I am going to solve for x in the top equation. So I will get negative 2x and add 4y to both sides, and then divide both sides by negative 2. And really what I'm doing is I'm dividing every single term by negative 2, excuse me. And I have it. X equals negative 5 minus 2y, and I'm ready to plug that into the bottom equation. So negative 5y plus 3x, and x is just equal to negative 5 minus 2y, and that equals negative 4. And just like before, I can distribute and combine like terms once I'm done this. So that gets me negative 11y minus 15 equals negative 4. Add 15 to both sides. Negative 4 plus 15 is positive 11. Negative 11y equals positive 11. So y equals negative 1. And again, I'll already put my answer up here, and I'll just fill in x once I'm finished. So I will plug into this equation right here to solve for x. So x equals negative 5 and then minus 2 times y, which is negative 1. So x equals negative 5 plus 2, which is negative 3. And again, I can plug into my equations to check my work. So I will erase a little bit. So to check my work, I will plug into both equations. So I'm going to start with the top one, and I will plug in negative 3 for x, negative 2 times negative 3, minus 4 times negative 1, and see if that equals 10. So I get 6 plus 4, and that does equal 10, so I'm good to go there. And then in the bottom equation, negative 5y, make sure to plug in y, plus 3 times x, which is negative 3, and we'll see if that equals a negative 4. And 5 minus 9 does in fact equal negative 4. So negative 3 comma 1 is the correct answer here. And then in the last example we'll go over. So we're going to need to solve for one of our variables. And I don't see a variable that's like easier than another variable to solve for. So I will just solve for, let's say, y in the top equation. 4y equals 22 minus 5x. And then to solve for y, I'll divide everything by 4. And 22 minus 5x. And I'll just leave all of that over 4. I'm not going to divide them individually by 4. So now I can plug that into the bottom equation. Negative 2x minus 3 times y, which is 22 minus 5x over 4. And that equals negative 13. Now watch closely because we have a couple pretty weird steps coming up. I want to get rid of this 4 in the denominator here. So I'm going to multiply every single term by 4. So I'm going to multiply this guy by 4, multiply by 4. I'm going to multiply this by 4 and multiply this by 4. And what I'll get is negative 8x minus 3 times 22 minus 5x. All that happened was those 4's canceled. And that equals negative 52. And I'll continue in the top left here. So negative 8x, and distribute that negative 3 to get negative 66 plus 15x, and that equals negative 52. And then combine like terms, 7x, and add 66 to both sides to get 14. X equals 2. I really like getting rid of fractions. That's why I multiplied everything by 4. Just to get rid of that 4, and it made it much easier. That way you're not dealing with fractions the whole time. I will plug that back into this equation. You can really plug it into anywhere. You don't need to plug into any specific equation. Just as long as it has an x and a y, you can plug x equals 2 into whatever you want. So y equals 22 minus 5x over 4, which is just 22 minus 5 times 2 over 4. And that's 12 over 4, which is 3. And again, you can check this answer by plugging it into the original equations. So if you got something out of this, hopefully you did. Make sure to like and subscribe and check out some of my other videos. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video.
Brad does math.